Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and I'm looking this morning at a book from Hart Publishing, which I think is a very useful book for many of us to get to understand what is happening at the top of the court structure. It's called From House of Lords to Supreme Court, Judges, Jurists and the Process of Judging, edited by James Lee. This is the book itself. It actually has some very useful footnotes. It's done on a chapter by chapter basis. There is a short index at the back, which is of some use to those who are looking for specific things, and there are a range of cases, and those are the various articles. There's a Flickr review which you might like to see, which is a more detailed statement of what we say, but we've given it the title From the Society of Legal Scholars, a choice collection of papers on the momentous transition from Lords to Supreme Court. And what we say is this, that the book is a joy and a gem, which is what it is, being a collection of inspiring and certainly thought-provoking and often controversial papers delivered at a significant event held in 2009. We're referring to the Society of Legal Scholars annual seminar held at the Law Society, which you might say bookmarked the transition from the Lords to the new Supreme Court, bringing together academics, practitioners and the judiciary. Is also quite appropriately commemorating the centenary of the Society of Legal Scholars, organisation I must confess I've not really heard much of before. It was in 1909 that the first meeting of the Society took place in exactly the same room, the aim being then and now to maintain and nurture the relationship between academic and practicing lawyers, one that I think is very important myself, but tell the clerks that. Some of them are not over impressed. The book is a compilation of the actual papers delivered by the 12 expert contributors to the seminar. The result is a wealth of erudition and insight, which in particular is valuable to practitioners, academics and certainly students alike. Get some good marks here actually for your exams if you read this book, so students beware. It must have been a privilege to attend this historic occasion, but if you weren't there, here in its essence is the book. A couple of examples here will give you an idea of the flavour of the contents. There's a keynote address from the Honourable Michael Kirby entitled Our Darwinian Reflection on Judicial Values and Appointments to Final National Courts. The argument here in favour of variety and evolution when it comes to appointing judges to our highest courts is also taken up by Dr. Aileen Kavanagh, or Kavanagh, I think her name is correctly pronounced. Her chapter From Appellate Committee to UK Supreme Court, Independence, Activism and Transparency, also questions whether increased transparency will necessarily translate into increased public confidence in the judiciary. And there's a big that comes into that one. Perhaps it's too early to comment, of course, on the debate, and obviously the issues will continue to arise. On this, and of course other ranges of topics of equally pertinent value, the book delivers divergent and closely argued points of law, as to be expected. You could also regard the book, I think, as a handy research tool if you're an academic doing research. Certainly good for the LLB and postgraduate studies. It's got an extensive table of cases and statutes, and of course it covers other jurisdictions, which in our global community is important. Suffice to say that the book more than achieves what its stated aim is, which is to reflect upon the jurisprudence of the House of Lords and to consider the prospects for judging in the new Supreme Court. So yes, a choice collection of papers on this momentous transition, and I would say this is very useful, I think, for anybody who has a substantial interest in jurisprudence. Certainly University of London LLB students take note. Thank you very much to Hart and to Mr. Lee for an excellent book. Thank you. Bye bye.